Just a friendly reminder that if you have not already done so, please follow the show on Twitter for show updates and more. This is Mike Said It First. I am your host, Michael Carvelis, alive and well. On today's show, the XFL is dead. There's no... Oh my goodness, if the virus did this, I don't know what I'll do. NBA horse competition. Brandon Cooks to the Texans. Tua Tagovailoa's workout video plus Trent Dilfer's amazing praise. UFC is suspended, plus my warning, and Jameis Winston is not a draft bust. But first, a word from DrinkAid, and then we'll be back to Mike Said It First, live on 12 Ounce Sports.
DrinkAid, ready for distribution worldwide.
Is it possible that the league that looked pretty stinking good is gone? Is it? There's no way unless there is. Remember in week 5 of this season when the coronavirus pandemic officially took off, at least that's how they wind up with the XFL. The XFL pledged basically it's going to be back in 2021. There was no doubt about it. They were coming back. Well, now they've announced that they're pulling back, that there's speculation they're pulling back on the 2021 season. The social media team, as it has been doing all season long, or at least before the season was canceled, they were having fun with this one, showing a famous actor when he blows kisses goodbye, and that was clever. And there's also been employees laid off, which is even worse. And Oliver Luck, nobody even knows if the commissioner of the league is still a part of the league. What is going on? What is going on in Stamford, Connecticut? I'll tell you. Publicity stunt. Now, when I first saw this, news or rumors, I was like, okay, what's going on here? Like something is seriously up. And from a person who's supported this so much, I even interviewed Jordan Thompson, a defensive tackle of the Seattle Dragons. I interviewed him. I love this league. I would talk about it with all my friends. And suddenly it just vanishes. Now, there is a part to this that gives you concern. The coronavirus is actually hurting all kind of leagues financially. But there's one thing that Vince McMahon does not lack for, and that is money. Yes, I said it correctly. Money! The owner of the WWE does not lack for money. I promise you, if anything, by this... That was weird. Oh, I'm still online. I mean, if I'm not, that's kind of weird. I think I'm still good. If not, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry, my OBS has been acting up, and it was kind of weird. But the point is that I just believe that, the biggest drop of the season so far for the XFL has been losing PJ Walker. And I know that, I kind of could be just glossing over this, and it could actually be canceled. But I promise you, the way the league has gone all in with this, like the XFL, the way they've marketed this thing has been incredible. They've had all these TV deals. You don't just drop something because of a virus, okay? I know the virus has made so much stuff go haywire, but I promise you, I don't promise you, but I'm very sure the XFL is going to be fine. And the reason I say that is because of a GIF that I saw on Twitter that the XFL team put. There's no statement saying goodbye. You don't just post a funny GIF saying, ha ha, Toodles. Come on now, guys. Come on now. It's going to last. The virus slowed it down. There was no point in finishing the season because there was only like 5 weeks left anyways. It wasn't like it was anything like we knew this was going to happen. 2021, see you then. And I'm going to try to get some more interviews, but that's another story. The NBA and ESPN has announced a horse competition. You know, the game of HORSE, where you take a shot and the person has to mimic the exact shot, and if he doesn't make it, he'll get a H and all the way up to horse until whoever gets horse, they are eliminated, and you get it, okay? So basically, there's going to be 2 rounds. Now, first of all, we were told by the NBA, at least the rumors were, that there were some marquee names, and I'm sorry, but Mike Conley, who was struggling until recently with the Jazz, Trae Young, who's with a pathetic Hawks team, although Trae Young's incredible, and it's a fun thing it's fun to watch on Snapchat whenever he's telling people to drop down and give him 10. Zach LaVine, the person who was snubbed at the All-Star game, wants to do this, which is just comical to me. Paul Pierce, who is as bad as Skip Bayless when it comes to sports takes and TV, although Skip Bayless at least knows how to run TV, Paul Pierce is just hanging on for a paycheck, it seems like. And Tamika Catchings, nobody watches the WNBA except for me, that's okay. This is what we were promised. I'm not going to knock this until I try, because one thing the NBA does very well is they do this trick of marketing things well, and they do this trick of making things work, okay? The All-Star game was very good, although I still believe to this day that Kobe Bryant's death inspired the guys to play hard. I don't believe the new format with charity is going to make players risk injuries, okay? But the NBA at least tried. They always are making rule changes. There aren't major, but still good enough to keep flowing way better than the NFL does. But dang, this sounds stupid. This sounds absolutely stupid. What in the... Man, what are we doing? I'm so lost as to what is this going to, like, I haven't even seen a logo for this. All I've seen is Chauncey Billups will match up against, let's say, Trae Young. Like, it looks stupid. Again, this is Mike said it first, and I'm not going to act like that it's going to be terrible, because that would just be completely L if it turns out, if I end up liking it. But man, it sounds fishy and sketchy. I'm skeptical, if anything. Like, we couldn't get, like, seriously, the only person on this list I actually respect a lot is Trae Young. Like, dead serious, I respect Trae Young, because I could see him winning a horse competition. Zach LaVine is a stat patter. Mike Conley is a really good point guard, but he's not a great point guard like Trae Young is. Speaking of Catchings, I never saw her play in the WNBA, although she was a Hall of Famer. Paul Pierce is an obnoxious idiot. This is... I'm skeptical, but I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to be okay. When we come back, Brandon Cooks was traded to the Texans. Is this what we get for DeAndre Hopkins? I'll talk about that. Plus, Tua Tagovailoa is better than Aaron Rodgers. Oh my goodness, Trent Dover, you're at it again. I'll be back, but first a word from 12sports.com/weight-loss, 12sportsnetwork.com/weight-loss. We'll be right back. This is Mike Senna first. Thank you for joining us on this pretty action-packed, actually, April 10th, 2020. I am Michael Carvelis, and this is Mike Said First. So, Brandin Cooks, the former Rams concussed wide receiver, has been traded to the Houston Texans. And, okay, so Bill O'Brien, I've been on the record for a long time saying this dude's weird. Like, he's inept. He has no idea what he's doing, and he's a weird dude. Okay, let's just say that. This guy has traded away 4 things in the last year, and I never really saw this graphic until last night on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. It was DeAndre Hopkins, Jadeveon Clowney, and 2 first-round draft picks. And I promise you, Brandin Cooks is the biggest name the Texans have gotten back so far. If you didn't hear what I just said, 2 first-round draft picks, Jadeveon Clowney, and DeAndre Hopkins, and your best player you've gotten back so far is Brandin Cooks. You know, you wonder, like, I read something on YouTube that I still think is growing on me. It's a stupid little conspiracy theory. If anything, it's a joke. And it said, a fan commented, I wonder if Bill O'Brien has any dirt on the Texans owner, the Haslams, because this is getting, like, this was straight. He was saying this is getting weird. Like, you don't trade DeAndre Hopkins away for a bag of potato chips in hindsight. Like, I don't know what else to say about this. What in the world is this man doing? Deshaun Watson, I keep saying it, and if you haven't heard me, you're going to hear it again. Deshaun Watson is literally going to have his career absolutely destroyed. He may never win a ring, dang sure not in Houston. The only ring that they've had in any sport the last few years has been the Astros, and guess what? There's an asterisk next to that name. And in a funny little part, I believe they actually finally took down the 2017 World Series champion sign for Josh Reddick, who was actually from my county, but that's okay. I believe they actually did that, which I think is hysterical. But my point is, Deshaun Watson is going to be completely destroyed of a career, robbed of a career, because whatever. Wait, I don't even know where to begin with Bill O'Brien. Is he on drugs? Because I don't want to just assume the guy's on cocaine. Is Bill O'Brien racist? But he just got back Brandin Cooks. This is a weird individual. This is a weird team, and the Texans are getting to the point where they're going to be the worst run franchise in the NFL if they're not already there. Let's reiterate again what I've said. DeAndre Hopkins, Jadeveon Clowney, and 2 first-round picks are your best things you've traded away. So far, Brandin Cooks is the best thing that you've got. I am lost. I am absolutely lost. And I cannot believe this has happened to Deshaun Watson, because, again, I've said before about Deshaun Watson, this dude will play like garbage for 3 quarters, but will turn to Tom Brady in the 4th quarter just because. It's unbelievable how good this guy is and how poorly this franchise he's under is being run. It really speaks to the greatness of Deshaun Watson. It really lets you know how good Deshaun Watson is. Will Fuller, Brandin Cooks, are injuries waiting to happen. Kiki Kuti is the same way. What is left in Houston? What's left of J.J. Watt? Guys, I know Deshaun Watson seems like a good Christian guy. I know he seems like an all shucks kind of guy. But you can only push a dude so far. And I'm telling you, this is going to get ugly. If this team wins next season, I will be shocked. I will be absolutely shocked if this team even sniffs the playoffs next year. Because it will be because of Deshaun Watson and nothing else. Nothing else. But man, I feel sorry for that guy. Time is 10:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're in about the meat of the podcast right now. Tua Tagovailoa has posted a 1 hour plus video of him throwing footballs in different ways, shapes, and forms. And Trent, and this is, of course, for people for the NFL draft, because the pro day of his, I believe, was canceled because of the virus. So Trent Dilfer, ESPN's quarterback guru, Dilfer's Dimes, which is the dumbest thing in the world for a guy who couldn't throw a football, and it's okay. Trent Dilfer says Tua has better arm talent than Aaron Rodgers. Listen, okay. I will be honest. I'm a fan of Tua. I'm a fan of his very quick feet for the quarterback position. This guy's he's not fast, but he's very agile, which can help him break away from pressure and extend plays. But this guy's arm talent is nowhere, is not, no. Aaron Rodgers' ability to fling a football with just a flick of the wrist is otherworldly. For Trent Dilfer to compare Tua Tagovailoa to Aaron Rodgers and say he's better than him is absolutely stupid and unfair to Tua. Now, I'm one of those guys who I will be on the bandwagon and say that Trae Young could be better all the time than Steph Curry because Trae Young can shoot threes but can also pass better than Steph. I know that sounds so taboo because of what Steph has accomplished, but that's where I stand. But to me, Tua has not even been drafted, my guy. I know two surgeons have said that Tua could be ready for training camp. I understand that. But guys, what are we doing here? First, we get Joe Burrow is being compared to Joe Montana and Tom Brady, which is the stupidest thing in the world. Then Tua is, according to Trent Dilfer, is better at throwing a football than Aaron Rodgers. Like, what? I like Tua. I think Burrow's going to be okay as well. I think Tua's going to be better, but that's another story. I believe these two guys will be fine in the NFL. But how much praise are you willing to heap on a guy? How much praise are you willing to heap on two unproven guys? I don't care what Joe Burrow did in one season at LSU. I don't care what Tua did in the second half of a national championship game or what he's done at Alabama in general. Alabama and LSU have not had much quarterbacks. These two guys were just godsends for those two colleges, okay? But the fact is, this is unfair to these two men, and Trent Dilfer should be absolutely ashamed. This man walks up to the Washington Post and says, yo, Tua Tagovailoa has better arm talent than Aaron Rodgers. Really? What do some guys gain from saying this kind of stuff? Like when I do a podcast, I'm like, I say stuff that I actually mean, but I don't want to just throw out comparisons just for likes. Who tells the Washington Post that a quarterback born in Hawaii and raised in Alabama from football standpoint is better than Aaron Rodgers who plays in Wisconsin? Who tells the Washington Post that? There's no correlation to anything in Seattle or I believe Washington, D.C., where the Washington Post is located. What? Like, maybe this stems from how Tua could be drafted over Dwayne, and replace Dwayne Haskins. I think it's not going to happen, but if it did, I would laugh my head off. You guys know my show. Haskins is not as good as you think, but that's another story. But what is it with the praise, man? Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be hard to find another one of those guys. It's going to be very hard to find another one of Aaron who can literally flick a wrist and throw a Hail Mary on the dime. Very hard to find. Even Tom Brady stands will admit to you Aaron Rodgers can throw a football better, but whatever. But, guys, I believe Tua is going to be very good. I think Tua is I believe he's the best quarterback in the class. I think his quick feet will help him so much. He's accurate. But come on, man. Stop this. Stop it right now. Okay. Let's take a quick break and get a little mic promo up in here. And when I come back, I'm talking the UFC. Dana White's a cash cow. And Jameis Winston is not a bust. Oh, I cannot wait. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's show. I'd like to use this break as a self-promotion. If you like what you hear, email me, michaelcarpelis12ounce@gmail.com, and maybe we can create a long-lasting partnership. I love promoting brands, and it'd be cool to have a product I know listeners and myself would like. It would benefit both sides. Thank you for tuning in. Now, where were we again? A reminder that if you have not followed the show yet, go ahead and do so. And Mike said it first. It's right there in front of your face. You cannot miss it. That gives you a full topic list before the show airs. Updates on what's going on with Mike. Just fun stuff to look at. Not like that. Okay, anyways. Just follow us on Twitter. You get it. UFC has been suspended. Dana White had a conversation with Disney, which led to the postponement. He has a little setup saying, I got this thing called Fight Island, which, I mean, God forbid, talk about money. How would you like to be able to build an island for your hobby? It's whatever. Also, I'll get to something else in just a moment about the same topic, which has me kind of fishy about all of this. And that will be in the Mike's Warning portion. But the backstory to this is that UFC had been promising to go forward with UFC 249. They were the only league that refused to budge with the coronavirus, which is just stupid in the first place. And I'm not wearing a mask, crying out loud. But I promise you, I'm not freaking out. Not freaking out. But I do know the problems and the consequences of getting coronavirus. I get it. My neighbor has it. That's okay. But it was stupid for them to keep standing in the first place. My point is that Dana White had promised us Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov. But I forgot how to say that. I knew how to say it and then I forgot. I think I like Nurga, but I'm sorry to Khabib. Let's just say call him Khabib. The guy who fights Cubs when he was younger, when he was a Cub. It's a really good story. But my point is, let me get my thoughts together here. Dana White promised that the UFC would happen. It didn't happen. He had to postpone it. He talked with ESPN, and ESPN issued a statement saying, nobody wants sports more than we do, but we both parties agree that this should not happen because, health reasons. It's okay. I thank you, Disney, for putting that moron in his place. Because this guy is a cash cow. What in the devil? Like, Ohio State athletic director, this is where I'm going to transition from this to this. Ohio State's athletic director says, if we're not going to allow fans to come to events and gather, why are we allowing our athletes to? Like college football was talking about playing with no fans, and that's just stupid. Like, fans watch the game. Like, if you don't have fans in the game, it's just going to be the most stupidest thing in the world. Like, we are the ones who watch them and pay the NCAA. So why gather the athletes if the fans are unsafe? Which is a great point. But these leagues should not be so greedy. Like, trust me, as a guy who does a once-a-weekly podcast, I love sports. My brother would get mad at me when I would play Legos with him, and I would find a way to make one of the bricks into a ball and make a new sports league in Legos, okay? I am obsessed with sports. You know what I'm also obsessed with? Common sense. Guys, Dana White is what every one of these leagues is doing behind closed doors. They are finding ways for this stuff to happen, and it's just not going to happen until we're cleared. I hate it. I really do. I don't like it, but right now, guys, we should be content with literally watching replays of 1970s NBA Finals. That is where we're at right now. And if Dana White believes that he's going to gather some dudes to a fight island and that's going to prevent a coronavirus, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's a cash cow. And these leagues should not rush back because they're losing money. You don't think the billions of dollars they have in the bank is going to... You don't think... Like, are we just going to go bankrupt all of a sudden because we're off for 6 months? No, we're not. We're billion-dollar sports leagues. Of course we're not. And you guys don't think the ESPN is giving money to the NBA and the Masters for re-airing their 2013 tournaments? Of course. If we're watching at home, the Masters in golf is getting money right now. So why rush back your leagues? It's stupid. It's stupid to rush back these things, especially with no fans. That is the dumbest thing. Like, they say don't have gatherings of more than 10. There are literally 11 people on a football field on one team. Plus the head coach, plus coordinators, plus TV broadcasters and cameras, plus the other team. Dana White has got 2 fighters, plus himself, plus cameramen, plus 2 more commentators. This dude has got to get his head out of his wallet. I know it's hard. Again, I know it's taboo to say, don't worry about money. But don't worry about the money. We're going to be fine. Will we go insane? Sure. I miss sports. It's getting hard to play NBA 2K without turning on the occasional, Miami Heat or Lakers game, okay? It's hard to do that. But we'll be fine. I promise you. We will not die from no sports. We won't die if you gather our favorite athletes with the coronavirus going around, because then it's going to kill them. Stop it. Stop begging for money. You have billions of dollars saved up. Stop it. Again, Fight Island is the same thing as going to Vegas. It's the stupidest thing in the world. Just wait. This thing will pass. We'll be fine. Send your thoughts and prayers to other people that are struggling with the virus. Hope they get better. In a few months, we'll laugh at this and say, ha ha, coronavirus, you idiots. And then we'll be done. But don't act like we have to do this. We really don't have to. Like, I can go outside right now and jog. I'm not going to, but I can go outside right now and jog. I can go outside and work on something with my dad. I don't have to watch sports. I choose to. Sports are not a necessity, man. They're a pastime. Dana White, this has long been coming, and you should have ended this thing a long time ago. The only league right now that's struggling is the XFL, Even that league, its owner runs the WWE. We'll be fine. According to the GM of the Buccaneers, who actually drafted Jameis Winston in 2015, I think it was, he claims the former number 1 overall pick is not a bust. What? Seriously? We're doing this right now? Okay, so on a podcast, a few months ago, maybe, I brought up to you guys that Jameis Winston is going to be the modern-day quarterback. Well, it's the return of the old-day quarterback, because when Pop Warner got the passing involved, there was a bunch of, crazy passing numbers from way back in the 50s or whatever. Then we got to running, and now we're back to passing again. Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, which is sensational numbers. Oh, but I'm sorry, what's this? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention he threw 30 interceptions. So that's throwing a ball to the other team 30 times. There's 2 areas I want to get to in this topic, and then we'll head out. Number 1. Where was Jameis Winston drafted again? I'm just wondering. This is an honest question. What pick was Jameis Winston in the 2015 draft? I'm waiting. You can Google it. Ding, 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 ding. Number 1. That means, according to the Buccaneers, according to the world, a lot of people really like this guy. Jameis Winston was the best player, and not only the best player, but the best quarterback in that draft. Numero uno was Jameis Winston's draft pick. That's where he was selected. The guy. And what have we had to show for it? 30 interceptions 5 years later. So what is a bust, Mr. Light? What is a bust? It's when you over-select a player. A bust in sports is a draft bust is when you overpay or over-select for an athlete who completely does not meet expectations. Is 30 interceptions a good thing? Because let me ask you this. Do the Buccaneers make the playoffs? Google that real quick. Just do it. I know it's hard. It's hard to remember. Just Google it. If you already know, that's cool too. Just don't tell anybody else. They didn't make the playoffs? Okay. Well, Jameis is a draft bust. And the other thing is, this modern day quarterback thing has got to stop. I promise you guys, 5 years from now, not saying guys will have thrown 30 interceptions, but there will be more 5,000-yard passers with all these numbers and a lot of turnovers. Why? Because that's the modern day NFL. Patrick Mahomes is what you want. Big numbers, low turnover rate. Jameis Winston has had 5 years to get this together. And in his final year of his rookie deal, 30 interceptions. And he was replaced by what? A 43-year-old quarterback. Don't tell me he's the GOAT. Stop that. He's 43. Seriously, listen to yourselves. The man that the number 1 overall pick was replaced by is 43 years old. That's a bust, my friend. You screwed up. You drafted the wrong guy. It's a crying shame. It really is. Because you could have, Marcus Mariota isn't very good either, but really, Jameis Winston, you could have had other players in that draft, and you chose the man who had won a national championship, and how's that working out for you, sir? Oh, well, if we had not signed Tom Brady, we would have had Jameis Winston, because there was nobody left on the market, you idiots. What are you going to do? Draft another quarterback? Oh, yeah. He is a bust. To say he's not is comical. Is Mitchell Trubisky a bust? Time will tell. He's been in the league for 2 years? Well, I get it. I'm the same guy who says Mitchell Trubisky is not a bust yet. Well, that's okay. Just because Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes were picked behind you does not mean you're a bust yet. We have to keep giving him the keys. Jameis Winston has had 5 years to get this right, and he has not. He hasn't had 2 years. He's had 5, and has screwed the entire place and burned it on fire. The Buccaneers are in ashes. I'm sorry. Whatever. One more word from Lexington Law, and then we'll get a show recap. This is Mike's the First. Don't go anywhere.
Nothing makes us happier at Lexington Law than when our clients cancel our services. Listen to this client call and see what we mean.
Lexington Law Firm, this is Erin.
I would like to cancel my account.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. Actually, you guys have done tremendous work for me, and I was working with you for several years now, and my goal was to get a mortgage written by the end of this year, and I just got that mortgage commitment.
That is wonderful.
My credit went from 440 working with you guys to 700.
Nice.
And I got a very good 4.25% 30-year fixed rate mortgage. I have nothing at all bad to say. If you ever want me to write a testimonial, well, I will. As a matter of fact, I've recommended you to a lot of friends.
Lexington Law has served over 500,000 clients, taking expert action on their credit that has led to the removal of millions of questionable negative items from their credit reports. Call now and learn more about how Lexington Law may be able to help you in the removal of negative items from your credit report, such as collections, late payments, charge-offs, and many others. Call Lexington Law today.
Do you see that in front of your face? It's the Twitter username for the show. Mike said it first. No need to spell it out. It's just right there for you to visualize. It's not hard to remember. You'll be fine. Just a reminder of today's topics. The XFL, is it dead? Well, at first I was kind of, okay, this kind of stinks because I'm really invested into this thing. I'm like, oh, okay, we're good. We're good. The XFL posted a funny little GIF, and they haven't released a statement. Now, granted, Oliver Luck and some other employees might have been laid off. That's okay. The XFL's not going anywhere, okay? Vince McMahon has the WWE money. He'll be fine. He's just trying to save money right now. No, it's not gone. NBA horse competition. I'm not going to bash it yet, but I'm a little bit skeptical after hearing Mike Conley, Paul Pierce, and Tamika Catchings. Oh, my God. Oh, and Zach LaVine. Let me not miss the slam dunk. Let me shut up. Brandon Cooks to the Houston Texans because Brian, not Brian. Is his name Brian? I forgot. The GM of the Texans, Bill O'Brien, not Brian. It's Bill O'Brien. My bad. But that's Bill O'Brien's attempt to make up for losing 2 first-round draft picks, Jadeveon Clowney and DeAndre Hopkins. Isn't that interesting? This guy's an idiot. And Deshaun Watson is only going to – if they do well next season, it's all because of him. Tua Tagovailoa sent a 1-hour workout video to NFL teams prior to this year's draft, and Trent Dilfer said the man has a better arm talent than Aaron Rodgers. Oh, my goodness. The things we do for likes. UFC has been suspended after Dana White finally recognizes his head stuck in his wallet. Thank you, Disney, for helping him out. And, please do not rush back. That's my warning to these teams. Do not rush back. There's no point. And Jameis Winston is not a draft bust. Yeah, that's a lie. I don't know what else you call Jameis Winston right now because he has 5 years to get it right, and 30 interceptions is just not it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know I have. Coming up next week, don't worry about it. We'll have more topics for you. I'm not crazy. You are. So next week will be April 17th. That's obvious because that will be 7 days from now. I'm excited. I'm fine. I'm breathing fine. I'm a little bit congested because this pollen is ridiculous. Don't ever move to Georgia. Don't care what anybody tells you. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I need some more friends on Nintendo Switch. I'm going to get a PS4 game, but right now we're on Nintendo Switch. Love playing Animal Crossing. I know I'm an idiot. I love playing Animal Crossing. Love playing NBA 2K20. That's it for me. Let me not ramble on. This has been Mike's First. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. Don't forget to go to 12ouncesportsnetwork.com or 12ouncesportsradio.com, whatever your preference is. It's the same website, same IP address, whatever. Just different ways to type it. And there was no horse racing today, so I'm still stuck at 4 points. It's okay. Hopefully next week we'll have more horse racing. I know they had to reschedule this week. That's okay. I'll have to watch the replay of the station owner, Jeff Beck, getting involved with iRacing, which should be pretty funny. All right, guys. You know what they say in my part of town? Have a good one!